Got another super chat. This one is from Fat American. Thank you for your 4th super chat of the night. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, Fat American. Writes, LOL, Ron told Cosme, boy, your ass starting. I don't give a F. That's what they drafted him for. That's what they drafted. Like, the minute he came to OTAs and they saw exactly what they drafted, like they knew what this guy was on tape, but this was their first time being exposed to him in a physical sense, seeing the athleticism, seeing the movement skills, and they were pleased. That's when they and again, it also coincided with them getting their hands on Charles Leno Jr. Once they saw what they had in Leno and they looked at Cosme, they was like, all right, we can move on from Morgan Moses. And they did. And I told you, I liken that move to that of an NBA team having a young player stuck behind a veteran, and they want the young boy to get more minutes. So you trade the veteran away. You're seeing that with you're seeing that with the Pelicans right now. They got a log jam with a bunch of young players like Nickeil Alexander-Walker that they want to play more of. Lonzo Ball was in the way. So what do? You start moving dudes to create opportunities for the young guys that you believe in. That's what they did. That's what they did with Samuel Cosme. They said, we want Sam to play. He can't play if Morgan Moses is here. He can't play. Morgan Moses is a veteran. Morgan Moses is a respected veteran in this locker room. We can't just take a 7-year veteran and just sit him down for no reason and start the young guy without friction, ending up happening in the locker room. Just to dead all of that, let's just move on from Morgan right now. Guys may not be happy about it, but at least the lingering effects won't be here. Morgan won't be in a locker room moping around. Somebody won't stick a mic in Morgan's face and he won't say something dumb because Morgan has never been one to shy away from a mic. So to just nip all of that in the bud, let's just move on from Morgan so that Sam can get an opportunity. And so far, so good for Sam. He's taking advantage of the opportunity. And really, Cornelius Lucas was supposed to get the first shot. He decided to have a birthday party, mess around and come in contact or get COVID himself. Don't know which is which. Doesn't matter. He wasn't available at the start of camp. And that's all Samuel Cosme needed, was the door to be slightly ajar. Door was just slightly ajar. That's it. He stuck his foot in, pried that puppy open, and he went in. Shut the door behind him. And when Cornelius Lucas came reaching for the knob, shit was locked. Sorry. You had a shot. You blew it. So Ron's like, yeah, we drafted you to start. We want to get this process started early, sooner rather than later. And Ron said, we want to make sure we get a lot of these young boys on the field, because I don't know if you guys understand what Ron's trying to do. Let me let you in on a little something in case you haven't been paying attention to Ron's plan. I ain't been talking this Ron's plan shit for no reason. This is an intricate, very detailed plan that Ron is putting together. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but let me let you in on a little secret. Ron is getting all of these young guys on one accord at the same time. What you don't want is to have a team that's ready to win, and you got some guys that's ready, and you got another wave of guys that are just getting to where you need them to be, and then you got another bunch of guys that aren't ready. He's getting all of these young boys on the same equal playing field so that when we get to year 3 or 4, Ron, and I really think that number is year 4, because I still think there's a young quarterback that has to come in here to complete this equation, or a veteran. If we get the veteran, that moves the timeline up a year. If we get Aaron Rodgers next year, we ready to win the Super Bowl next year, right? But what Ron is trying to do is to make sure when we do get that guy, if we do get one of these veterans, all of these young boys are ready to go. If you don't play Sam Cosmi this year and you wait till the end of the season and he gets 3 starts, well, Sam Cosmi really isn't ready now, is he? But if Sam Cosmi's got 14 or 15, or if he's healthy, 17 starts under his belt, and you go into next year, he's already solidified at right tackle. He's ready to go. Chase Young's ready to go. Montez Sweat's ready to go. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, they're ready to go. Benjamin St. Juste, you think he's going to let this young fella sit on the bench? No, he's going to throw him out there, because if he's good next year, when we're ready to go compete for a Super Bowl, if we get the quarterback, Juice is ready to go. John Bates is ready to go. He's getting all these young boys in here now. Get the experience now. Y'all keep trying to rush the process. And I told you the worst thing that could happen to Ron, for some of you, was us winning the division. 7-9 was a really good start for Ron. It really was. It wasn't supposed to be attached to a division crown, because what that did was it took expectations from, hey, that was a really good year one for Ron. Now let's build upon that and let's be 9-8 or 10-7. Now we've taken that, hey, let's go be 11-5, 12-4. Some of y'all talk, or 12-5. Some of y'all talking crazy and still don't understand it's year 2 of Ron. And Ron ain't worried about your timeline. He's worried about his, and making sure all these young boys are all in the same accord, so that when we're ready to go, everybody's ready. No excuses. Nobody, no player left behind is like the SOLs in Virginia. You're not from Virginia, then you don't have this standardized test. But one of the sayings in Virginia, no child left behind. No player left behind. We want all the young boys to get in here and get experience. That's why you drafted Dax Milne. Nah, he may not be playing. He's getting experience, though. So if Adam Humphries isn't here, Dax Milne will be able to step in, and you don't miss a beat. Same with Jared Patterson. You want these guys in the system. You want them learning, so that if they got to step in, you don't miss a beat. Ron is trying to get all these young boys up to speed now. Why you think they didn't sign any defensive ends? Yeah, that's a great excuse, okay? That's a really great excuse. We love to hear it. Some of it is true. If I'm trying to get paid and I'm signing a 1-year deal, I don't want to go to Washington behind Chase Young and Montez Sweat. But don't tell me that there aren't any young veteran players that are going into like year 5 or whatever that don't want to come and play for Washington. Nah. Ron is like, I'm going to get our own homegrown stuff, and we're going to cultivate it here ourselves, because we don't have to pay none of these young boys. Because I got to pay Montez Sweat. I got to pay Jonathan Allen. I got to pay Cole Holcomb. I got to pay Terry McLaurin. We got to pay all of these dudes. So we don't want to go out here spending inordinate amounts of money on positions that we think we can cultivate ourselves. But in the meantime, we're going to make sure all these young boys get playing time. So when we need them, when we call their name or we call their number, they can step in and we don't miss a beat. There's a rhyme to and a reason to everything Ron is doing. And a large part of what a lot of you are missing is he's playing all of these young boys. A lot of young players are getting opportunities. There's a smatter of veterans, because you can't have a whole bunch of youngins running out there. They'll run amok if you don't have enough veterans to keep them in line. But there's a reason that Cam Curl played as much as he did last year, okay? Because when the shit finally pops, we need the young boys to be ready. They don't need to be wide-eyed and like, oh my God, what's going on right now? They need to already have been in the fire. So when the shit gets hot, they comfortable. They like, hey man, somebody go get me a damn beach chair, man, a lawn chair. I'm about to sit out here and get a little tan. Where my glasses at? Give me some suntan lotion. You want dudes comfortable when shit gets real. That's what Ron is doing. He's grooming a bunch of guys to be ready for when everybody's ready. And he wants everybody ready at the same time, the same damn time. So That's why he wants Samuel Cosmi to start. No time like the present. Get him out there. I'm telling you, you're going to look up and a lot of this team, and it's happening right before your very eyes. You're going to look up and a lot of this team is going to be super young. Ron said when he first got here, and I listened to everything Ron says. I'm very analytical. I told you guys that already. Especially with words that people say. That's part of that psychology background. But Ron said when he got here, one of the mistakes he made in Carolina is he allowed his roster to get old. And he said, I'm not going to. And that's why you like getting coaches with experience, because they learn from some of the past mistakes that they've made. And they vow that if I get another shot, I'm going to be different about how I go about doing certain things. I'm going to take the things I was successful with, and I'm going to continue to do that, and I'm going to carry those things over. But the things I wasn't successful doing, or the things that I felt like were failures, or I had some shortcomings, I'm going to change those things the next time around. One of the things he said he felt like he didn't do a good enough job of was monitoring the roster in Carolina. He allowed his roster to get old, and by the time he recognized what was happening, it was too late. Ron wants a bunch of young guys running around. Again, every now and again, you need a veteran like a John Bostic to mentor these dudes. You need that. You need a Landon Collins on the roster. You need guys that the younger guys can latch on to and pull information from. You need that. John Bostic. Look, you say what you want about Bostic. I listened to him speak at the podium last week. And he talked about the wisdom that was given to him when he got in the league. And he ripped off about 7 names of dudes that were veterans on that Chicago Bears defense that he came into the league on. And he said, man, I learned so much from those dudes. And he said, it ain't just about on the field. I learned some life lessons from some of them guys. And I'm passing that knowledge on to these young guys. I'm showing them how to work in the film room. I'm showing them how to work on the field, how to communicate. I'm also telling them about some things financially off the field. Like he's giving them life advice as well. He's like, look, I told them if they need anything, come to me. And Ron even talked about Bostic's leadership. You need that. You need some of those veterans on the team. But make no mistake about it. They're grooming all of these young boys. Khaleke Hudson's going to get some run this year, okay? They're grooming all of these youngins, man. Trust when I tell you. Look at Tampa Bay's team. They got a lot of veterans. Ndamukong Suh, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. You know, Mike Evans is a veteran. They got veterans on their team. Don't get me wrong. But you look at that team. You look at the core of that team. It's a lot of youngins on that team, man. Their entire secondary are all on rookie contracts. Levante David is one of the better linebackers in the league. He's a veteran. But you know who they got right next to him? Arguably the best linebacker in the entire league, in Devin White. He's a youngin. They just drafted Joe Tryon. They're going to get him reps. He's going to take over for JPP here shortly. They got a lot of, like, that's how you build it. You got your veterans, but you gotta have that young nucleus, that young core of players. That's what we're trying to build. That's what Ron is building. So that's why you're seeing guys like Samuel Cosmi be pushed out there. All right, Sam, go ahead. See what you got. It's big because you need these young boys to be ready. Antonio Gibson, all right. Adrian Peterson, you got to go because the young fella got to play. So when we're ready, he's ready. We can't have him sitting behind a bunch of veterans. Only way he's going to get better is if he plays. So, AD, you got to go. Sorry. Not sorry. You got to go. Because the young fella has to play. It's not rocket science. You see what Ron's doing. He's done it since he's gotten here. The minute he got here. They tried to put Sadiq Charles in last year. Y'all remember this, right? Tried to put Sadiq Charles in at left guard. 2 plays in, he got hurt. He's trying to get young everywhere, and he wants these guys to get exposure because it's going to get real here really fast really soon. All we need is that one component. You know what I'm talking about. We get it. And shit's going to, the rate of speed that this team is going to have to mature at is going to be accelerated, and it's going to be hyper speed. Well, guys aren't going to be as impacted if they've been playing already. So, thank you for the super chat, Fat American. Greatly appreciate you.